Hi everyone, Jamie here with Sweet Pickins. Welcome back to our home. We are so glad you're here. So this is part 2 of a simple, easy supper, pulled pork sandwiches. So this has been marinating on the stove, on low for the last several hours, and it is ready to go. I actually a little bit ago went in, it was a full roast, and I went in and I started shredding it. So that's what I would suggest you do. Let's take the lid off and look at it. So what I like to do is I like to shred it while it's, ooh, this is hot. Let me get this back out here. Here's the other one. All right, I'm gonna show you guys. So I like to take the full roast and shred it. And this is probably almost when it's like 30 minutes out from being done. And it just depends on your stove. I did it high for 30 minutes and then I just did it low and I watched it, and it's just been on low for the last several hours. And just about 30 minutes before I pulled it out, I shredded it. And I shredded it, you can see here. And then what I did is I left it, I put it back in all this juice for the last 30 minutes because I really wanted those juices to infuse into the meat where I shredded it. And the meat is just so pretty, so tender. So this is almost ready to eat. So what I like to do is I like to drain off a lot of the juice. There's lots of ways to do it. I just will take my little strainer tool here and I literally will just drain it off. You really don't want a lot of juices because you're gonna put sauce on this and it is going to be super duper wet and messy and make your bun really, really wet if you don't get most of these juices out. If you wanna put it in a strainer to get the juices out, it's absolutely fine. Whatever works for you. So I'll just come back in with this, kind of shred up a little bit more, drain off the rest of the juice. You want it to be moist, which is gonna be moist from cooking. However, you just don't want those extra juices. Some sandwiches you want the juice. This particular sandwich, you don't. Okay, so you can see it here. So what I'm gonna do, gosh, I have this right here. I'm gonna show you our coleslaw too. So what I wanna do is I want to take it and I just wanna kind of, this is a metal tool, just kind of shred it a little bit more. I don't want big pieces. I don't want huge chunks. So I just like to go in and you can see the steam coming off and just shred it a little bit more. If there's any more juice that you think you could get out, go ahead and get it out. At this time, there's just a tiny bit. Okay, perfect. So now this is where you can customize. Whatever your favorite barbecue sauce or whatever barbecue sauce you have on hand is what you should use. So one of our favorites barbecue sauces is Jack Daniel's. Jack Daniel's makes some amazing barbecue sauce. I personally love their sweet honey one. However, not everybody loves their meat to be sweet. I like mine a little spicy and a little sweet. So I usually, when I'm making something like this for the family, I usually stay with a basic barbecue sauce. So we like Sweet Baby Ray's, and this is actually what we ended up having today. So this is what I'm gonna put in. This is just the original barbecue sauce. Now, what I like to do is sometimes I put the whole container in and sometimes I don't. It just kind of depends on how big the roast is. So I put a little more than half in right now. So what I wanna do is just really come in here and mix it around. And then see, once you've mixed it, then you can kind of gauge. Some people like their meat super saucy. Some do not like it super saucy. It kind of just depends. We like ours covered, but not like all we're gonna taste is barbecue sauce. So yeah, I used a little bit more than half of this, and honestly, I think this is absolutely fine. So let me show you guys. So it's easy. So this is actually ready to eat. You can put it however you want. You could do a hoagie roll, you can do buns. I just happen to have some buns. So I thought, I'm all about using what you have. Don't don't, let something go to waste. Don't let something go to waste. So we had buns. These are hamburger buns. So we're just gonna go ahead and use these. And what it's gonna do is it's gonna make a little bit smaller of a sandwich, but that's fine. The hoagie rolls are really good. So you can add extra onion to this right now. You can add cheese or a couple kind of cheeses. You can toast your buns, warm your buns up, whatever you would like. So when I do this, I typically like to do Velveeta cheese. So these are Velveeta slices. So I will put that on here. And then what I'll do is I literally will just serve up the meat out of the tray and just pack it on there. And then you can see. See, that's perfect. Then, so that's great. And yeah, some of the guys, they might eat 2 or 3 because they're not super big, and that's totally fine. So remember, I told you guys we were going to have coleslaw with our pulled pork sandwiches, which I think is such a good compliment. So remember, the coleslaw recipe is in our YouTube channel. It's a pretty popular recipe. We've heard a lot of really good feedback on it. So this is, I'm gonna show it to you guys. So this is the coleslaw here. So see how pretty that is? And this, will pair this up with the sandwich, and that is good to go. So if you want to have coleslaw with your sandwiches, just grab that recipe. It's really easy to make. You're gonna need a couple hours for it to marinate, but once it's done that, it's totally good, and it makes enough for a couple of days or to feed several people. So you could see this. If you're not a big juice fan, because unfortunately the way coleslaw is, any kind of coleslaw recipe, the juices come into the lettuce and then they release. So it basically moistens it and then releases it. So you are gonna get a lot of juice. So I personally like to strain out all the juice so that there's not too much juice, because honestly the juice still will keep coming. So that's what we're having. We're having pulled pork sandwiches right here, and we're gonna have some coleslaw. And then do not forget, there is another recipe I made, dessert. This is caramel apple dip. You can see we already had a little bit of it. So this is delicious. So don't forget to check out that channel or that video on the channel, and you just dip this with apples. Y'all, it is so delicious. And I know this kind of screams fall. However, guys, you don't have to just make this in the fall. This, if you take this to a barbecue, an event, a potluck, a church function, or a work function, you're gonna be everyone's best friend, and they're gonna be asking for this recipe. So you just send them right over to our channel. You are going to love this, I promise. So guys, thank you so much. I know this is part 2 video, and I know it was like there was lots going on, but I wanted to show you the final step and how I put supper all together. So pulled pork sandwiches for the win. Easy, simple, and everybody seems to love them. So guys, make sure you like the video, subscribe to our channel. Don't forget, you could follow us on Instagram and Facebook. You just have to type in Sweet Pickins Reno. It's Pickins Reno. Follow us there. There's lots of behind the scenes, lots going on. And then we have a website, shopsweetpickins.com. There's lots of decorating ideas. There's a blog. There's lots going on over there. And then there's a fun area for you guys to shop for fun things for your home. And I'm currently adding fall items gradually to the website. So that is very exciting in itself. So guys, thank you again so much. We will see you on the next video.